Literally my favorite thing ever, but this is gonna sound so bad. Okay. Anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. Feeling burnout, I think. I really don't care. I don't know why it is so messed up. And I hate to say all of this with like a poop streak on my face. I'm back. And I have an energy drink. And we're going to do a get ready with me while I try and give you advice about college and learning. Everyone's favorite thing to do. It's a witch's brew. It's a witch's brew. This is a little bit old, but I think I was saving it for a good day, you know? A Halloween seasonal drink. So, I'm gonna come on here and try and see what I can't do about talking about my college experience. I literally don't know where to put this on my desk. My desk is a mess. Let's see what we can get into. So, it is finals week. As you have heard before, refreshing. Not fun at all, but I would just like to say that we're really trying up in here. One of my classes is a psychology class. Ed major. You take a lot of those. You take a lot of psychology classes, and this one just so happens to be named Learning and Motivation, and it is not motivational to go to class. I'll tell you that right now. I wish I could say I learned some things from it, but haven't learned much. If you are in college and you are going through your finals week and absolutely losing your mind, I'd just like to remind you that it is not that serious. College is not that serious, and you're doing your best. You're trying your hardest. You are putting your whole back into it, and you're trying. And that's all that matters. You're really truly giving it the college try, as they say. One of the things I can suggest if you are a new college student or you're going into college, I really do suggest, hold on, I need to use something really fast. Put foundation on my beauty blender a little bit too early, and I kind of like put it on here. It's just chilling there for now. Also, don't look at my big box of shoes over there. But anyways, I really do suggest, I hate to say it, I suggest living in the dorms. If you're a freshman coming in, you're probably gonna live in the dorms. I'm just gonna put that out there. It's gonna happen. Live in the dorms, you're going to meet a lot of people that are probably going to be your friends. A lot of the people you're going to meet are probably going to be your lifelong friends. And I really wish that I lived in the dorms. I really should have heeded my own advice. Technically live off campus. And yeah, I live off campus, and I just really do suggest living in the dorms because everyone, if you're a freshman coming in, is going to be looking for a friend group. One of those roommate quizzes, I think that's what they are. I don't know. I really suggest taking them because you're really gonna find somebody that you vibe with. Hopefully they are your lifelong friends, and they really aren't messing around when they say that the people you meet in college are going to be like your bridesmaids, your maids of honor, your groomsmen. They really aren't kidding when they say that. I should have heeded my own advice and lived in the dorms, but I did technically go to community college first before I went to a 4-year university. Yeah, also, if you were in community college, you're doing great, you're doing fine. You are probably saving a crap ton of money, and that's amazing. Saving money is the main goal here because college is expensive. Most colleges literally just want your money. Everyone is so money hungry nowadays. It's crazy, but I really do suggest going to community college first. Even if your major is something that technically isn't taught at community college, if that makes any sense. But I do suggest it because it saves a lot of money, and most math classes and science classes are technically called gen eds, and those are something that you can get out of the way and save a couple bucks, because Lord knows college is super expensive and it's crazy out here. School that I go to, it is about, I was interested in taking summer classes, which are supposed to be cheaper, by the way. Summer classes are technically supposed to be cheaper, but at my school they are, I think it's $600 per credit, so not really the cheaper option, which is crazy to me. Living by yourself is super expensive. I don't know what is going on in the world, but it is just so expensive to even just live. Like, groceries are super expensive. It's crazy to me. Just the cost of living is insane. And as a college student, I don't have money. I don't have a lot of money. I don't think anybody has a lot of money anymore, but it needs to be fixed, like, for real. So messed up. And I hate to say all of this with like a poop streak on my face. It makes you guys take me a little less seriously, probably, but it's expensive even just living, and it shouldn't be that way. But as somebody who lives off campus, I technically don't connect with a lot of people here. I live in an apartment, and I do technically have a lot of older people that live in the building. There's a guy that lives down the hall, and he puts out candy for Halloween. I could hang out with them, but it's kind of strange. You have a couple friends here from some of my classes, and people I went to college and high school with. It is hard making friends in college. It is absolutely insane. I personally have given up on making friends. And honestly, I don't know if it's because I'm a senior and I'm on my last legs here. I am just sick and tired of putting on a show for people and just caring about what people think of me. But it's hard making friends, especially as someone who has come from a community college, and coming here, it is hard. It is very hard. And if you are somebody that has social anxiety and just have like that barrier, and you feel like there's a barrier of you making friends, I am in the same boat with you, because I also have social anxiety. It is hard for me to talk to people that I don't already know. A lot of people in college are also anxious and want to make friends, and here's why you shouldn't care about what people think of you, because everyone here, everyone in the world, not just in college, everyone in the world is so preoccupied with worrying about themselves. Everyone is so worried about themselves. I hate to say this, but they don't care about you. They don't care about you. They aren't looking at what you're wearing. They are so busy with themselves that they aren't even thinking about you. It is so crazy how narcissistic some being human is, you know? So, I was going on about how I've given up on making friends, and I've given up on making friends, and I've done it in a way that I just want to get done with the school year and finish my major, and yeah, to go to my classes and kind of like ask people like if they want to hang out or if they want to go and do something. I used to do that often, and it's gotten to the point where I just stop asking. I am turning into a person that cares about myself, and that's okay. Having friends in college definitely helps. It definitely alleviates the shittiness of college. It really does. Having a community that is around you makes you feel more supported, and just making more friends and having that close circle really does make college all the while. Okay? But I will say this, making friends is so hard. It is so hard, especially as an adult, okay? You know, I am this close to going up to a girl in my class or whoever it is and just somebody that I like have seen daily and going, hey, do you want to be my friend? Like, I am so close to asking people, I'm just gonna ask you to, like, how you used to ask people in elementary school, do you want to be my friend? You know, like, you used to go up in elementary school. It was so easy. You could go up and be like, can I play with you guys? Can I be your friend? Can I do this? Blah, 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 blah. And I don't know why that is not normalized more often, because it should be a thing. Like, it's straight to the point. It's just straight to the point. I've lost my mind when it comes to making friends, because I'm honestly, this is gonna sound so bad, but in my class last fall was when I kind of reached a turning point and I went a little bit crazy, and I honestly wanted to see what I did a little experiment. I wanted to see what I could get away with in college and stuff like that. And I kind of sort of did it in one of my psychology classes. And if you are in that psychology class and with me and you sat at my table, I would like to apologize, because what I did to you guys was not fair. I am so sorry. I did my eyebrows, but I would like to apologize to the table group that I sat with. There were these two guys that sat at my table, and one of them had his back turned and would look at the board, and the guy that sat next to him was like he was definitely trying to suck up to the other guy and kind of become friends with him. I don't know, but yeah. And he would talk to the other guy who had his back turned most of the time. So, and every single day, the guy that had his back turned towards the board, like this, he'd go and scratch like his back, and he'd like go like that, and it was like almost kind of like a daily thing he would do. It was like a routine for him. I don't know, but. And the other guy would kind of like be kind of sitting kind of close, because most of the tables in college are really close to each other. And one day I thought it would be so freaking funny. It would be so freaking funny to tell the guy that sat next to him, next to the guy that would scratch his back like this, to help a brother out. And I gave in, and I gave in to that little voice in my head that said, that would be so funny. You should say that. And I said, hey, and then I said his name. I said, you should help a brother out. And I pointed to the guy who was scratching his back like this. And the look in this man's eyes was pure fear. And I will not forget it. He like raised his eyebrows and he's like, I was like, scratch his back. And it was just so funny, but that's how you not make friends. I kind of wanted to see what I could get away with by being the kind of like the village idiot or the village crazy person. And I just kind of gave up. I went a little bit crazy, and I still am a little bit crazy, but bring a big canister of Tic Tacs, like one of those like, the Tic Tac containers, and I would just eat that whole thing. I would eat the whole canister of Tic Tacs. Like, go like this, dump it out, and then go. And then I just continue to do it during the period of class. And obviously, you know, this probably was very counteractive, because other people in the class were probably talking about me, and they're like, this person ate a whole thing of Tic Tacs, and then they became friends. Still do not care. I don't even pay for parking at my school. On campus, I don't have a parking pass, and I will park in the 15-minute parking spot. My class is 2 hours, by the way. Definitely threw in the towel a little bit, and yeah. Having a wacky professor or having somebody in your class that is kind of crazy and definitely speaks out a lot is how you make friends, because you can talk about how weird the professor is, or their grading criteria, or just anything about the class, you know? Just kind of defining, like, if you have a table group, or if you talk to people the first day of class, just kind of ask them like, hey, did you guys want to make a group chat for this class, and see what they say, and be like, did you want to do Snapchat or phone numbers or something like that? Find the relationship, I guess, kind of, you know. And you will also have like their social media if you think they're really cool, you know. Just try talking about campus events and ask if they want to go, you know. Like if there's a cool play, like if they're putting on like a Mean Girls play or something like that. And then just really vibe with them and see what their interests are. But also having a group chat will save your life. If you miss class or whatever, if you're sick or you just don't want to go, you'll have people that you know and you're gonna be like, hey, what do we do? You know? And then they'll tell you and you'll just know, you know? I also think that it's so funny how you have assigned seats in college. You will go to class and you'll sit in a spot, and yeah, that'll just be your seat for the whole year. If somebody joins the class late and decides to sit in your spot, that is awful. That is awful on them. And then you're like, you're sitting in my seat, man. You know? But nevertheless, I think it's really something really cute that people in college do. Yeah, when I tell people I live off campus, my favorite thing ever is having them try and figure out themselves where I live. I had one of my friends, one of my coworkers that I used to work with, she was like, do you live in residences? Do you live in residence or whatever? And because that's like a place nearby where I live, and I was like, no girl, that sounds like a nursing home. I do not live there. Literally my favorite thing ever. But yeah, I really do suggest living in the dorms because a lot of people there are also kind of like you and they want to make friends. And that's just the general hub because it's where everyone is. It's where everyone is working. It's where people go to hang out. It is just my general word of advice here. If that's not for you, then that's okay, because I live in my apartment, so I also do not live in the dorms. But yeah, I'm going to talk about professors. Professors are weirdos, let me tell you. Especially professors that teach Socratic method. Professors that teach Socratic method, because they will juice you out. I should probably not do that hand motion, but they will literally juice you out. If you raise they're the type of people that if you raise your hand in class and you know the answer and you would like to share your answer, they will literally ask you for further information. They'll be like, well, why do you think that? Or what do you think about this? I had one of my professors who was also a psychology professor, and he was really picking on this girl, and she was really brave enough and she shared her advice or her answer out loud, and he continued to kind of be like, well, what do you mean by that? Or, well, what do you mean by this? And he continued to ask her more questions about her answer, and then she said, oh, I don't know. And then he's like, well, you do know. And that right there pissed me off, because as somebody who's in the education field, you can take any grain of salt. You need those crumbs from the class. You need that, like, what is it called? Exchange. You need the student-teacher exchange, and that is vital for teaching and just in general, because if you continue to pick on the students and wonder why they think the way that they do or juice them for answers, you're not gonna get like people to raise their hands. You're not gonna get that exchange more often. I had this one professor my freshman year, technically, actually sophomore year. Yeah, my sophomore year. And she was a big meanie. That's the best way to put it. She was an older lady, and she was my math reasoning professor. And for those of you that don't know what math reasoning is, I don't even know what math reasoning is. Mathematical reasoning is the process of applying logical and critical thinking to a mathematical problem in order to work out the correct strategy to use. So basically, in reaching a solution, you need to reason with it, I guess. I don't know. But she was really rude, and I had beef with her because my sophomore year at the big school, the first week of class, I got COVID. And you're gonna get sick, especially like in college, because people do not know how to take care of themselves. People do not know how to wash their. So my battery died and I needed to charge it. But professor horror story time. So I had a professor my sophomore year of college. After I went to community college, I came to the 4-year university. So this was at the 4-year anniversary. Wow. This was at the 4-year university, and I was a sophomore, and I just so happened to get COVID the first week of school. Actually, I think it was the second week. I was at school for the first week, and then the second week I got sick. I was out for the whole week, and I was put under quarantine, and I had just moved into my apartment, and I didn't have a printer. I couldn't go out and print stuff because I was sick, like I was contagious. But basically, the professor had all of the worksheets online, and she posted them, and I was doing the work alongside the worksheets that were posted on our learning platform. And as I was doing that, I didn't have a printer, so I couldn't print some of the things that I needed off, so I would kind of copy the worksheets and put them in my own notebook, and to bring in and have the teacher look at it. And so I wrote down all the answers on my notebook, and I took it in when I started to feel better, and she asked me about where my worksheet was, and I showed her the piece of notebook paper that I wrote all of my answers on, and she was like, okay, this is not the worksheet that I had given out. And I was like, okay, yeah, but I was sick and I didn't have a printer and blah blah blah. And she went over to her desk, and I thought she was going to I don't know, do something, I don't know. I was back with the worksheet that I had missed out on. It was all printed out and everything, and she threw it at me, and I was like, okay, this is quite the first impression of my university experience, this is pretty crazy. Definitely not a fun time. I did not like that professor, and I still don't like that professor. Thankfully, I don't have any more classes with her, but I looked her up on Rate My Professor, and if you were in college, Rate My Professor is definitely something you need to look into. You can go online and type in your university or school, and then type in your professor's name and look up all these reviews for other people who have had that professor. And everyone on Rate My Professor for her was just, they were saying nice things about her. They said how she brought in cookies one day, and I was like, what the heck? That's crazy. That is so crazy, because this is not how she treated me. Our next topic is dating in college. I hate to say it, but pretty much dating in college is there are occasionally good people. There are good men and women out there that are looking for relationships, but they are extremely hard to find and practically non-existent, especially where I live. I live in the Midwest, so the men here like mystery meat jerky. They post pictures of themselves fishing. There's pictures of dead deer and stuff like that on their dating profile. So that is what I have to work with here, and it is not the greatest experience. College is definitely a time for learning more about yourself and stuff like that. So if you don't want a relationship, hey, that's perfectly fine. If you're somebody in college currently and you're working on your degree and you feel like you are behind, you are not behind. It's going to feel like you're behind. Everyone is on their own journey, and this girl in my physical education class, she is 19, and she showed up to class with a ring on her finger, and me and this other girl were like, oh my god, are you married? Are you engaged? Like, are you, like, what? Congratulations, like, that's so cool. But she's 19 years old, and I was like, holy, I am 22 and I have commitment issues, and I'm like nowhere near getting married. Like, honestly, the thought of marriage is just so strange to me. If you feel like your major is taking longer than you expected, that is fine too. If it is taking you 5 years to get a 4-year degree, that is okay, because you are working as hard as you can. And honestly, and if somebody you know that has like a master's degree and a minor and they're already done with it and they're the same age as you or a year older or younger, don't compare yourself to them. Stop it right now. Comparison is literally a thief of joy, because just don't compare yourself to that, because they did that. Good for them. If they have a master's degree at the age of 22 and are working on doing pretty much anything, like, if you feel like they are more successful than you, they probably aren't. Undermine everything that you have experienced and everything that you have done, and you do not want to put yourself in a hole like that. Nobody wants to feel that way. Nobody deserves to feel that way. On your own journey, everyone is doing their own thing. Everyone is finding out new things about themselves, and you are too. And that's okay. And if you feel like you're behind, you're not behind, okay? If you are somebody who decided to not go to college or is taking a gap year or gap years, that is perfectly fine. Honestly, you are probably making a crap ton more money than what I am making. Don't ever feel like you were left behind or you're behind in your life. You're doing absolutely fine. And there truly shouldn't be rules and regulations of how you should live your life. You think that you're behind because then when you're eventually older, you're like, hey, I feel like I'm missing something, because you have built all of this up to that one point of when I'm retired, when I'm this age, when I'm how old or however old I am now, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that. And if you start to set up expectations for yourself, they're just going to go downhill, because you're going to realize that when you're older, when you're 50 or when you get to that retirement age, you're going to be like, holy, why did I do this? Why did I think that I was so behind? I lived my 20s, my 30s, my 40s thinking that I'm behind than everyone else. And that is just not something you want to do, because when I'm this, I'm going to be happy. When I'm graduated, I'm going to be happy. When I have my job, I'm going to be happy. And that is a really crappy way to live. Those years back, you're gonna want to be in college. You're going to want to, when you are traveling, you're gonna want to go back to taking a gap year. And yeah, and it's not a way to live at all, because that is, you're a precious human being and you're worthy of everything. You're worthy of loving. You're worthy of living your life the way that you want to live your life. And if that means being selfish, if that means not going to college, if that means going to college, if that means working, if that means traveling, do it. I'm literally telling you right now, do it right now. Do it right now. We're going to talk about feeling burnt out, which is also another topic that is very important, because if you're a college student or if you're just burnt out in life, this is probably for you. Personally, I felt very burnt out because when I got to my school here, I figured that I didn't want to be a teacher. I didn't want to teach anymore. I didn't want to do anything. Like, I made thousands of lesson plans throughout my college career. I got so exhausted of just everything. How doing something for so long and just feeling like it's just awful. Like, it feels like you're paralyzed and you can't like do it any longer. And it's just something that once like you were so excited to do, like you knew that, hey, this was for me, this is what I want to do, and then it's something you're no longer interested in doing. It is so crazy because no one should ever feel that way, and you should totally feel proud of what you are doing and what you are becoming. Don't feel aligned with what you're currently doing. It is such a hard feeling to overcome and get over, and I really don't have any advice because eventually, like one day I was just like, you know what, I'm going to finish my degree and I'm just going to see what happens after. I'm going to see if I can do something else with my life. I didn't have the best advisor. I didn't have the best counselor. Do you guys want to see something absolutely ancient? Absolutely ancient, bro. Do you also want to see another thing that's absolutely ancient? Are you guys ready? You ready? Can you even see this? I don't know if you can even see it or not. I should probably throw this away. I've had this since high school. Whoops. It's fine. If I get pink eye, we'll all know why. I'm just kidding. It was a bad joke. But anyways, I forgot what I was talking about. Feeling burnout, I think. If you feel that way, like, talk to somebody. I suggest talking to one of your friends, your family members. I personally haven't had the best experience with advisors at school, but talk to somebody you trust. I would just kind of like to finish what my thoughts were on feeling burnout. And I can't exercise how important it is to take care of you, because you matter. Start taking care of yourself and prioritizing yourself and doing it for your benefit, because I can't tell you how important it is to get enough sleep, eat well, maybe doing a healthy habit like eating more fruits and vegetables. As a college student, I need to do more of that. But I cannot tell you how important it is to put yourself first and figure out what you can do to make yourself feel better. Some of the symptoms that I had about feeling burnout in college was I didn't feel motivated to go to my class. I didn't even feel like waking up in the morning, and I know that's low-key a sign of depression, but I didn't feel like going to school, and just not having interest in your courses or your classes is a major giveaway of feeling burnt out, and it happens to the best of us. But as I hate to say this, but I really do think that feeling burnt out is a form of redirection and stuff like that. And I'm not saying whatever it is you're currently doing or currently interested in is not something that is aligned for you. That is something you decide. But based on my own experience, whenever I have felt burnt out about pretty much anything, it was a sign that I needed to kind of just take a step back and kind of like reroute where I was heading. And it's really something that is not fun at all. And I was truly in my lowest mental health state when I was mentally exhausted and burnt out, and that I think a lot of people have gone through, myself included. But my personal decision was I am going to continue doing the same thing that I've been doing, and I just want to get it over with. I haven't had the best advisors and the best support around me when it comes to school and my learning. I've had counselors that have kind of like been unhelpful, and just they really wanted me to continue feeling burnt out, and they wanted me to continue going through my major and stuff like that. But that's not good advice. I was interested in doing an alternative route, and I wanted to specialize in something else, and they just were unhelpful and didn't help me do that.
You already know who it is. I totally forgot to do an outro for this video for some stupid reason. Yeah, so I guess this is gonna be the outro for my video because okay, this girl was going through finals. This video was filmed in May. So she was going through a lot at the time, so gotta be nice to her. She is me. But yes, so this concludes my college experience. It's really funny that I can joke about this, but at the time it was very traumatizing to me sometimes. But yes, I hope that you are able to have the best college experience this fall, or if you're returning, I hope you have another good year at college and you get A's, okay? You're gonna do just fine, and your college experience is gonna be different than mine, and that's okay. But yeah, I just hope that you have the amazingest, not a word, I hope you have the best college experience. Speak it out into existence. But yes, thank you guys so much for watching and listening to my college experience and stuff like that. But yeah, so thank you. I will see you guys later. Bye.